What's going on, gamers? This is Gaming Addict and coming at you with a new video. Yes, it's Destiny related. Sorry, I guess I'm not sorry in a way. So it looks like Bungie is coming out with a relevant artifact change. You know, the things that the last on your screen on the right that you just get from Eris Morn or the Court of Oryx that you have to get that 335 to get it from. And the changes they're doing to this game is dramatically changing the mechanics of the game. I'll go over all the artifacts that they're putting in the new DLC Rise of Iron coming out September the 20th. Let's get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and dash right into these artifacts. First one on our list is Memory of Jolter. So I'm going to go ahead and read a brief article that was in the Game Informer that they did on Destiny. Memory of Jolter. Particularly a close companion of Saladin, Jolter was a mighty Titan champion who ran bravely into battle without a thought for her own safety. Her artifact bears an ability that many players have longed for since the game's launch, the ability to completely eliminate sprint cooldown. So what does that mean? That means that the game speed's about to drastically increase if people who do decide to use this. You could put this in builds, you could put this in Hunter Titan builds, and you could really get to point A to point B as fast as possible. And that, my friend, is going to be a huge dramatic mechanic gameplay in the world of Destiny. Alright, so next we're going to go ahead and move down the list to the Memory of Slimar. Okay, once again, I'm going to go ahead and read a brief summary of this Game Informer. After this, I'm not going to tell you guys because I do feel like I shouldn't have to bring this up every minute. But the Memory of Slimar. Slimar was a proud, wrathful, and brilliant, and the architect of the Iron Temple that sits on top of Fellwinter Peak. So he made that shit. He was a defense-oriented Titan, always looking for a way to offer better protection, such as his artifact provides a unique ward, the ability to drastically reduce damage. So, this is definitely going to be a defender thing. You put this on your defender. Not only are you going to have Blessing of Light, but you come out with that shotgun and that Titan sitting there back to you. You might have enough with that bubble, the Blessing of Light, and this ward, and this artifact to get to him and shotgun him before he's able to deplenish your health to 0. It's definitely going to make the defender bubble a little bit more useful without backup plans, but people are still probably going to use backup plans. But anyway, on to the next artifact. The Memory of Fellwinter. That shotgun that we got in the Iron Banner that was a shotgun and a sniper rifle. But the great enigma of the Iron Lord's Fellwinter was an Iron Lord with good intentions. He definitely wanted to do the right things, but he went at it the wrong way, but sometimes questionable and unusual ways of interacting with the light. So he's like a Tolan. He got intrigued with the Hive, and he just went left field with this. This warlock discovered the mountaintop retreat that would later become the Iron Lord's home. His artifact has the most dramatic gameplay difference. The ability to lose your super. No more Blade Dance, no more Hammer, no more Fist of Havoc, but in addition to this giant setback, you get the additional grenade and a melee charge, and a boost to your overall stats in order to recharge your grenade and melee abilities. So, that is huge. That is a way left or right field. If you build a build towards this artifact, you have to completely stay away from intellect, unless intellect goes towards your grenade and melee abilities when you pick up orbs, which they didn't really say that in here. I think it probably is that way, but that is a huge dramatic difference not to have your super. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get on to the next artifact. Alright, on to the next one is the Memory of Gelen. Gelen was a hunter, but few doubted his assessments of the situation on the ground. So he thought on his feet really good. No matter how dire guardians that wield his artifact, they'll gain derailed radar at all times and radar persistence when aiming primary weapons. So I don't really have a whole lot on this scenario. I don't know how it will impact. We'll have to see when the actual Rise of Iron comes out. Well, maybe not when Rise of Iron comes out, maybe a couple weeks after Rise of Iron comes out, and see how people can adapt and use this ability to their advantage, this artifact. So okay, now we're going to go ahead and go on to the next artifact, which is the Memory of Scory. So Scory was pretty much a bard warlock, the people who are mainly a support character. So she was a warlock, obviously, and what she did was she inspired her allies with songs and wisdom. Guardians who follow in her footsteps use her artifact to glow with an inspiring light that speeds up super recharge for all nearby allies. So, I could see this being really good for, mainly PvE, maybe trials too, because if you guys are close to each other, your special will speed up just as quick, and you can have that round 2 to 3 super. So it'd be interesting to see how this artifact in particular really goes on with PvE versus PvP. So we're gonna ahead and go on to the next artifact, which is the Mercy of Timer. Creepy and misunderstood, Timer's warlock powers in Dimir were almost recalled those of a controlling necromancer. So he was more of a warlock practicing dark arts of being a guardian. Guardians willing to flirt with the shadow can take up Timer's artifact and transform their melee attack, giving it a chance to turn low power minions of darkness into allies, which that's pretty cool to have. I don't know how useful that's going to be. It might be one of the worst ones there. It just depends on what their version of low. I mean, if I can turn a ogre into an ally, that would be crazy, but it says low power, and I don't think that they would consider an ogre in low power. These enemy creatures fight at your side, turning their weapons on confused fellow allies. Another melee a few seconds later puts them back in to the right mind, so you can keep doing it over and over again. The effect expires after 30 seconds. So, we'll go ahead. I don't see this one. This one might be one of the worst ones, but, only time will tell. Someone might come up with some crazy-ass cheese for this in the raid, but let's go ahead and get on to the next artifact, which is the Memory of Radagast. Described as one of the first among equal, Radagast the Titan was, the King Arthur of the group, and strived into battle with the mighty sword in his hand. His artifact adds a new ability for the sword heavy weapons, letting you reflect energy-based projectiles, including everything from an ogre's blast to a crucible opponent's rocket. Alright, let me just say right now that this one right here is the first one I've seen that's going to dramatically change the game. No more ogre sitting on the other side of the map just wrecking you. No more people sitting on the top part of Burning Shrine on trials and just shooting rockets waiting for you to advance. All you have to do is bring up that shield. It's going to shoot right back at them. It's going to make a lot of people really think twice before they shoot rockets at random places. But, I feel like this is going to be one of the best ones that these artifacts can do. But anyway, on to the next artifact. Last but not least is the Memory of Perun. The field commander of the Iron Lords was a consumed strategist, and her situation awareness went beyond even fellow hunters. If you bear her artifact in a battle, then enemy guardians with full supers are highlighted yellow, and all enemies with low health are highlighted red for easy targeting. You guys, this one's crazy because, what the biggest issue that, the Iron Lords have, and my podcast is, we don't like the fact that there's no way to tell if a Titan has its super, which you shouldn't have to equip an artifact to figure this out. But it does give you a scenario where you could put this on and you could see them lighting up like a Christmas tree. And the low health is crazy too. When you're on Iron Banner and there's multiple people attacking you at once, you can look and see, you can prioritize, well, this dude's red, so I'm going to shoot him. Or you see a yellow person that's coming at you, he's probably going to fist the havoc you. So you back up even more because for a fact he's coming at you to give you that super. So this is definitely a really good artifact, and I'm curious to see how this one goes. So that's all for the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe if you don't mind. Always helps out my channel. Go ahead and watch every Tuesday. We have an Iron Lords podcast. If you like Destiny related content, go ahead. I'll put the description in the below to my Twitter. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'm always talking to everyone on Twitter. I love tweeting about stuff. I love talking about Destiny related stuff. But anyway, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here.
You're in the lead.